The ayes to the right, 228. Ooh. The noes to the left, 348.
The ayes were 228, the noes were 348, so the noes have it, the noes have it.
Yo, guys, I hope you're well. Labour's majority of 180 seats in the House of Commons will be used to bulldoze home its policies, and these policies will bring this country and its people to our knees. Today, Labour has stabbed the pensioners in the back with their ruthless victory, ending the winter fuel allowance payments at the very time they have acquiesced to the energy companies and allow them to increase their prohibitive tariffs once again, just in time for a long and bleak winter for the cold and the old.
Mr. Speaker, the decision to remove winter fuel payments has come as a complete shock to millions of pensioners. Pensioners on as little as £11,500 a year. We had no adequate explanation as to why these measures are so urgent. We've had no explanation as to why they had to invoke the special emergency provisions which allow them to bypass the scrutiny of the Social Security Advisory Committee.
So many lobby groups try to lobby Labour to reconsider their policy of hitting the old heavy and hard in their pockets. But Labour, who were once the party of the worker and those who were most in need, has abandoned them like a cruel master his long-standing, loyal, old and infirm pets. Starmer has turned his back on and could care less whether the olds will eat or heat this winter. And such a monstrous decision has been calculated. Labour no longer wish to court the votes of the old, but rather those of the young and the new voters who will come into the system if it gets its way. Labour equivalates the demographic of the old as those who are most likely to have been voters for Brexit, so therefore anti-European and, in Starmer's awful rhetoric, racist. My dad is a struggling pensioner, and the withdrawal of the winter fuel allowance along with the raise in the energy tariffs will hit him hard, as it will hit millions of pensioners who are absolutely not part of this so-called millionaires club the Labour elite wish you to believe. I'm disgusted with the party who have clearly decided to leave the pensioners and old people in general to fend for themselves. I'm surprised they haven't rolled out the idea of forcing them all into workhouses to fully means test them and to ensure they are earning their keep. Today, the Tory-led motion to oppose the winter fuel allowance cut was of course defeated by the fact that Labour has a huge 180-seat majority in the Commons, and it's instructed a three-line whip on its MPs to vote in favour of the bill, or else. This will now encourage Starmer to really go to town on the people, and he will have us all grovelling just like Oliver Twist and coming to him, cap in hand, bowl in hand, and begging, "Please sir, can I have some more?" The touch paper has been lit, and we will all be on a very bumpy journey. And with the October budget just round the corner, I can only dread what plans he has to take us on a rocket ride to the bottom of the dump. The Tories have their own distractions, with their famous five being whittled down to an awful foursome ahead of their own leadership battles at their upcoming party conference. There is no one coming to save us on a white charger, people. No one. This will have to be a battle that we will take care of by ourselves, by teaming together to vote out this party before they destroy us from the bottom up. This will not end well for any of us. Starmer is drunk on his power trip and will listen to no one. Not his advisors, not the lobbyists, and most definitely not the electorate. I had my huge suspicions about Starmer when he was at the DPP for reasons I will not expand on here. But unfortunately, those suspicions have only increased since he has become Prime Minister. Starmer's favourite retort is, "I don't have to listen to any lectures from you." and he means it. With his majority, he's going to drag us all into the dust if we do not unite and find a way to let all our MPs know that we will not put up with this. If we are divided, we are as sunk can be. If Starmer can shaft the pensioners without even a second's thought, please do not think he will not shaft you. He will, and that is what he really gets off on. He says he wishes to fix the foundations, but what Starmer is really looking to do is to look at loopholes in our laws. He will be fixing that will completely take away those liberties we have loved and taken for granted all our lives. I really hope I am wrong, but I reckon in a couple of years from now, even his most ardent supporters will be quietly whispering, I wonder why, that they've made a huge mistake by voting Starmer in. And this on the same day where 1,700 prisoners have been released from jail early to make way for those rioters and pesky people who like to post and to tweet online. I wonder how the victims of these criminals who've been released early feel, or if they've even been contacted to warn them that the perpetrator or perpetrators of the crimes against them are now free to walk around and make their lives a living hell once again. Next up, they wish to take away the single person's council tax discount, which is a tax on single people living on their own, which will once again target the old and young alike and discriminates against anyone who is single for whatever reason. Guys, it has only just begun. Anyway, guys, let me know down here in the comment section what your thoughts are about today's win for the government. So the winter fuel allowance payments will be taken away from the pensioners. What are your thoughts about what's next on the agenda? How we're going to stick together and how we're going to manage this situation with Keir Starmer just being able to ride roughshod on everyone, people. The next 5 years are going to be super tough on all of us unless we get together, we unite and we just stick together and we ensure that our MPs are working for us and not for Starmer. Starmer literally should be working for us rather than we working for Starmer. So he needs to get that in his mind that he works for us. We don't work for him, he works for us. So guys, we need to stick together. Let me know down here in the comment section what your thoughts are. This is just the beginning, people. It really is. So guys, we've been warned. We have been warned. Anyway, guys, make certain you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and make certain you come back to the next Urban Bars reaction, guys. I'm out.
Rushing such a policy through without taking time to consider impacts, ensure effective and fair implementation and allow possible scrutiny is impossible to justify.
We should be